Hello all, hope you're doing good. Long time no hear. It's Heisenberg here, the one who trades. Sorry that I haven't been available to update the market on the last few days or the whole week because I've been to holidays and didn't really check the charts. And as always, I'm gonna start covering the general markets in macro and short-term structure. As always, a reminder that everything shared on this video is not a financial advice, it's just my thoughts of how market is gonna play out. I'm gonna mark out Bitcoin, Ethereum, and dollar index as key charts and the most interesting ones. So starting with Bitcoin, as I have talked about on the last streams, the key area to be broken for bullish momentum is the high of this candle here, which marks about 32.4k. Also makes the key liquidity zone, which is around 32.6k zone. So we are consolidating under the key resistance area, so the pullback was not something that we were surprised of. Key area to be broken if we get above here and consolidate above it on lower time frames. First target is here and second one is here, as I've talked about it. If we get a breakdown of this blue trend line, first target is the key zone which holds us as bullish, the key macro range high, key macro mid range, and key macro range lows. But to go to the mid range and the range lows, we have to break the trend line first and the key range high second. If we get under here, first target, close under here, target here. It's simple enough. Also, Ethereum on the macro context, we need to see Ethereum close and hold above 2k zone for the target, more upside target. First target is those highs, this wick here. Second target this zone, and the third target is zone here. If we get a breakdown of the trend line and a breakdown of the previous range highs, target is here, and second target is those lows here, potentially this range quarter here. But for as long as we don't close under this zone, I'm not talking about here or here. As long as we do not close above here on macro context, I don't talk about those highs and this zone here. In macro, it's all simple. In short term, let's first see where liquidity stands. So what did Bitcoin and Ethereum do? Cleaned all those lows here with leaving those highs here. So lows are cleaned. What is market about to do and what's more logical to do? It's clean the highs here. Also potentially those highs here on lower time frames. You see the bounce, you see that why the take profit is important, just as important as entry price is. Also on Bitcoin, you see all those lows here taken out. Now what price is about to do, I think it's heading towards this zone here, taking all this liquidity here and probably even this liquidity here. I'm not talking about this liquidity here yet, because talking about this liquidity here, we have to close to get above here. On the short term, in my opinion, as I see, we have a bullish power of 3 here on lower time frames, deviation with a target at this zone here, taking all this liquidity of these highs, but we have to fix above the 30k for talking about here. So that's a lower time frame power of 3, bullish power of 3. If we get a close above here, it's a, I wouldn't say higher time frames, but it's a higher than the last one we used. it would make this zone here deviation, deviation here on the lower time frames, range, accumulation, manipulation, expansion targeting here. Range, accumulation, manipulation or the deviation, expansion targeting the previous range highs. So a small range within another range. We have to close above this key zone here to maintain the bullish structure, target those highs, and even though the previous range high, or go expand even higher to the 32.6k highs that I talked about. Ethereum and show and liquidity, as I talked, those two are the key zones. Also on all exchange, not in all exchange we took the liquidity here, but I'm considering it as taken. Where the other liquidity stands is this key zone here and this supply zone here. Those are zones where I think Ethereum will get rejected hardly, but on lower time frames, on shorter view, lows taken, mostly lows taken, those lows are left, but I think that Ethereum in the meantime will come out towards these. Here taken, bullish swing failure pattern, and my first target is here, second target is here in my opinion on short term. Also on pure price action, we are into the mid of this zone here and this zone here. If we get a breakout of this green trend line here, I'm expecting a move towards this key zone, which I've been talking about last weeks, which has been acting as a clean support resistance level. And if we get a breakout of here, I'm targeting here as first target. If we close here, my first target are, as I've been saying here, and the previous raise low of the distribution range that we broke down. Next, I'm gonna talk about the dollar index, which is bullish enough. Taken those lows here, deviated, retested, and going upside. In my opinion, this is the fake out and the double top. If we, for as long as dollar keeps the green zone, holds it, it's bullish in my opinion, and I'm aiming for higher targets. If we get a close above this red zone here that I marked out, I think that it's bullish for dollar and the upside continuation can continue towards this lower time frame resistance area, which marked the double top, or even the breakout of this red trend line targeting here and the daily previous range highs. For as long as this zone keeps on dollar, I'm bullish on it, and I think it has room to go even higher towards the targets I mentioned on charts, but it has to fix above this key zone here today on the daily close or the other days to maintain the strength for the upside. This is the false video. We are on holidays, so I'm not staying too much at charts. I'm enjoying the sun and won't be too much on the charts. I will update as long as I can. Cheers.